Hello everyone. I hope that you all are doing well. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Tracy D'Souza. I'm a certified nutrition advisor. I'm also a diet and weight management coach. Now today's session is extremely special because we're going to be talking about eating healthy and staying fit during the holy month of Ramadan. Now, I have been residing in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the last 11 years, so I have been fortunate enough to see Ramadan firsthand, and it is beautiful. Wishing all my Muslim friends and their families a very happy Ramadan, Ramadan Kareem. May Allah Ta'ala accept all your prayers, guys. So today's session is dedicated, like I said earlier, to eating healthy and staying fit during Ramadan. Now it is a month of fasting. It is different than the usual months, especially so for those who are fasting. So staying healthy and fit can be a little more challenging than usual. So guys, today's session, I think we're ready to start. We already have a few viewers joining in. For those of you who miss it, do not worry. I will be adding a video on my page and on YouTube so you can watch it for reference later. So let's talk a little more about Ramadan first. So it is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar where Muslims all over the world fast. Now guys, it is interesting because Ramadan is not only about fasting. It is also a time of spiritual discipline. You know, it's, I guess when one contemplates their relationship with the Lord Almighty, it's about prayers. It's also about increased generosity, charity, and kindness. And last but not the least, it is about the study of Quran. So Ramadan indeed is a blessed month, guys. Now, talking about fasting specifically, of course, there are exemptions for pregnant ladies, for breastfeeding mothers, also for women who are on their menstruation, for the elderly, for those who are ill, or those who are traveling. So there are exemptions in such cases. So that is wonderful indeed. Now, talking about fasting, guys, it has been proven scientifically time and again that fasting has innumerable benefits for your overall health. So let's talk about a few of the benefits of fasting, probably that would encourage most of us to, practice it too. So first and foremost, it's great for your overall health. Fasting helps in reducing inflammation. Now secondly, it also helps control your blood sugar level by, helping reduce your insulin resistance. It's great for your heart health as it helps control your blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, and also it may boost brain function. Now also we know that fasting can help in weight loss, guys. It also helps in delaying aging and also promote longevity. Guys, in case you're not aware, fasting can also aid in cancer prevention. And for those of you who are probably going through chemotherapy, it can improve its effectiveness. So that is wonderful. Also, guys, it can help to boost your immunity. It can help to bring that glow on your skin. It can help you to feel energized. So fasting in itself has innumerable benefits. Now, the important point to focus on is, yes, you are fasting, that's great. But are you eating the right foods? Now, before you start your fast and after you break your fast, are you focusing on what foods you're eating? Are you indulging in all the wrong foods? Because if you're doing any of that, guys, you will not be able to reap the maximum benefits of fasting. Now, remember, fasting is like a detox for your body, right? So great, you've been fasting from a sunrise to sunset. But what are you feeding your body after you break your fast? That is also important. So my advice here is, guys, if you're fasting, that's amazing, but make sure you also focus on what you feed your body before you start the fast, after you break your fast. Let's say it is important what you're eating in the non-fasting hours. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the terms sahur and iftar. Now, sahur is the pre-dawn meal. That is the meal that you are going to consume in the morning, say before you start the fast, because you'll be hearing these terms a lot. So that is sahur. Iftar is in the evening when you break your fast. We call it breakfast because you're breaking your fast. So that's the meal you're having after you've been fasting all day. So like most of you know, I like to keep it simple. Being healthy and staying fit need not be complicated, right? It's actually very simple. So I'm going to give you a few tips for sahur that you could focus on so that you could, maximize the health benefits of fasting. A quick hello to everybody who has joined in. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate the love and support. All right, getting back to sahur, like I said, now it's early in the morning. This is probably going to be your last meal before you start the fast. So what are we focusing on? I would say 3 things are very important. First and foremost, make sure to have foods that are high in water content, right? So you're hydrated. Secondly, make sure to have food that are high in nutrients because you're going to be fasting all day, guys, so you need the nutrition. Third would be foods that will make you feel fuller for longer. I'm sure you would agree with me on that. So these 3 points we're going to keep in mind for sahur specifically. Now first, I'm always going to recommend eat your fruits and vegetables. If you've watched my videos and seen my posts before, I do emphasize on eat a rainbow as a healthy fundamental tip. So you eat all the colors because it has all the different nutrients that your body needs. Now guys, for sahur or for fasting in Ramadan time, I would recommend have fruits and vegetables that are specifically high in water content. Right now in most parts of the world, like in Saudi Arabia, India for instance, it's summers, it's hot. Fasting will make me be a little more difficult than usual. You'll tend to be dehydrated a lot more. Remember, you're not even consuming a drop of water, so it's not as easy. So make sure in sahur, you make sure that you eat fruits and vegetables that are high in water content. I'll give you a few examples. You could talk about cucumbers, watermelon, let's say broccoli, spinach, iceberg lettuce. We have apples, oranges, pineapples, raspberries, strawberries. There are so many fruits and vegetables that are high in water content. So make sure to add that to your diet. Now moving on to something else that you should pay equal attention to is macronutrients. I'm sure most of you are familiar. Macronutrients are nutrients that are required in comparatively larger quantities. Now we're talking about fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. So make sure all of these 3 are present in your meal, guys. It's very important. Now let's talk about proteins and healthy fats. Now proteins we know are the building block of the body. Also we know that proteins are required to structure, function and regulate your body tissue and organs. Proteins also help you to feel longer, fuller for longer is what I meant to say. Now fats are your source of energy. They also help maintain your body's core temperature. They're required for absorption of different nutrients. So when we're talking about proteins, add to your diet, we say eggs. You could add labneh, cheese. You could also add skinless chicken, meat. For instance, we have a lot of plant-based proteins like quinoa, soy. Then moving on to healthy fats. Now guys, you have to make sure you stay away from the trans fats, saturated fats, because those are unhealthy. You need to focus on healthy fat options such as avocado. You need to focus on fatty fish, salmon. You make sure you cook your food in coconut oil or add the salad dressing such as olive oil, for instance. So these are the options that you should probably focus more on, especially during the holy month of Ramadan. Right, so moving on to complex carbs and fiber. Now guys, we've spoken about proteins, we've spoken about fats. Carbohydrates are often misunderstood. Yes, we do need carbohydrates for our bodily functions. Now they are the main source of energy. Of course, there is the good carbs and there is the bad carbs. So the good carbs are actually called complex carbohydrates. We need that as a main source of energy and for all our bodily functions, like I've mentioned before. So let's talk about a few examples of complex carbs that you could add to your sahur. We have whole grain bread, we have whole wheat pasta, brown bread, we have rice, we have potatoes, sweet potatoes, we have oats, we have vegetables and beans. For example, you could add those to your sahur. Also, when we talk about fiber, guys, fiber is essential for your gut health, for your digestive health. So you make sure you consume that many fruits and vegetables which are high in fiber. Also guys, another important tip is make sure to eat your fruit rather than opting for juices. The whole fruit has a lot of fiber, so that would be essentially good for you. Moving on to the importance of water. I cannot repeat enough how essential water is, especially you're going to be fasting. You need to make sure you're hydrated. We've spoken about consuming fruits and vegetables of high water content, but another tip would be, guys, that you sip your water throughout the non-fasting hours. Do not gulp down water. You sit and drink your water. Make sure that you are hydrated well enough. You could also have other drinks such as smoothies, for instance. You could opt for juices, of course, there's no problem, but I would always say a better alternative would be having whole fruits instead. So make sure you have enough water, guys, during your non-fasting hours. Then we move on to milk, yogurt, smoothies. Now calcium-rich products will help retain hydration. They will also help in keeping your stomach cool. So make sure to indulge in those. Then we have light sweets, right? Of course, without sweets, I think it's going to be incomplete in your non-fasting hours. But you could opt for, say, pudding, rice puddings. These are low in simple sugars, right? So they are great for you. Remember, we cannot cut down sugars completely, guys, because sugar is needed to keep you energized. Otherwise, you'd end up feeling weak, you'd end up feeling dizzy, and we do not want that to happen. Now let's say what things you need to avoid. That is also equally important. I know Suhoor and Iftar and Ramadan is a time of fasting, and it's also a time of treating yourself and indulging with family and friends, right? But let's keep in mind a few things that you should probably avoid. If possible, I highly recommend that you do it. First and foremost, caffeinated drinks. We're talking about tea, coffee, beverages, because they're going to dehydrate you. I know it's probably too much to cut off completely if you're someone like me who's used to your cappuccinos or coffees. So you could cut down on the number. You could probably limit yourself to one if that's possible. That's because you need to retain your hydration, guys. Second would be salty foods and pickles. Again, when you have salty foods, they tend to make you more thirsty. Again, we do not want that, especially for sahur. Remember, you're going to be fasting later, so you need to be mindful of what you're going to be consuming, right? Then we have fried foods. Now, foods that are fried are greasy foods, terrible for your stomach. They could cause indigestion, they could cause bloating, also cause constipation. Now we want to avoid all of that. Some more tips, I would say, do not overeat. Yes, I know you're going to be fasting for about 18 hours, but do not overeat. Eat slowly, chew your food well, enjoy your food, guys. Enjoy it mindfully would be what I want to emphasize on. All right, so this is what we're talking about, sahur. Now, you've been fasting all day. Now it's time to break your fast. You're excited, I can understand. But then again, remember, your stomach has been empty, right, for hours. So you need to go easy on your stomach, guys. First and foremost, for iftar, again, hydration is the key. Food with high quality nutrients is the key. So you could start off with drinks. You could have, say, water, which is the best option always. You could have juice, right? You could have laban, which is yogurt. Now, guys, what you need to make sure is you have drinks that are low in calories and low in sugars. Something which has natural sugars would be ideal for you. Second, dates. Tell me who doesn't love dates, guys? It is a favorite for all of us, right? Just give me a moment here. Yeah. So now, why are dates so excellent? Well, first and foremost, it's tradition. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, always broke his fast with dates. So it is ideally tradition, but guys, it is great for you because it has natural sugars. It has plenty of fiber. It also has potassium, copper, and manganese. So dates are ideal. If not dates, you could probably have apricot, fig, raisins, and prunes too. Then we're talking about natural sugars, right? You've been fasting, so your body is craving for sugar to get energized and recharged. You could have whole fruits. You could also have soup, again, another traditional way to break your fast would be soup. Make sure it's light. It is mostly based on meat broth is what I've seen here in the kingdom. It could also have pulses such as lentils and beans. You could also move on to starchy foods such as pasta or grains. Now guys, the idea behind healthy eating for sahur, for iftar, or for non-fasting time is more or less the same. The fundamentals are eat healthy, nutritious food, have foods with high water content, hydrate yourself, and enjoy your meals. These are the key points that you should focus on. Again, for iftar, avoid oily food. Now we know that we have sambusas, we have fried foods for iftar. Try to cut down if you're not able to completely avoid it, guys. Also make sure if you're deep frying, right, vegetable oils are terrible. I have made many videos about it, many posts about it. I cannot emphasize enough how terrible vegetable oils are for you, and especially if you're deep frying, if you're using the oils again and again, guys, it's going to cause inflammation. Switch to options such as ghee, coconut oil, olive oil for cooking, right? I'm talking about this for all households. Make that switch, guys. No matter how much they tell you that vegetable oils and seeds or oils are healthy, that is not the case. Switch to ghee, switch to coconut oil, switch to olive oil. Make that change. Now guys, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is staying fit and exercising and staying healthy during Ramadan. There is a lot of debate. A lot of us question, would it be the right thing to do to exercise during Ramadan, because already you're fasting, your schedule is changed, right? You're eating at different times, and since you're dehydrated, how are you going to cope? Well, let me tell you guys, working out or staying fit is one of the best things that you could do yourself to enjoy or reap the maximum benefits of fasting. So guys, let's say, for starters, you need to have the intention that yes, I'm going to be taking out some time to work out, and what are the benefits behind it? It's going to make me feel energized, it's going to make me feel fresh, it's going to help me burn some calories, it's going to help me shed weight or maintain your ideal weight, right? Now secondly, what I would say is when you're working out, especially during fasting times, it is scientifically proven that your body is going to get its energy, or it's going to burn fats. So the fats that have accumulated over the years, guys, if you're fasting and working out, guess what? This is the good news. You're going to burn fats a lot more. Because remember, you're fasting, so you're low on carbohydrates, you're low on sugar. So what are you going to burn? Fats. So it is a win-win. Now, another question I get asked a lot is, what is the best time to work out? Now, I'm talking about in a very general way. The ideal time to work out would be 1 hour before you break your fast. That is 1 hour before iftar in the evening, right? Now, in case you're wondering why, that's because you're so much closer to breaking your fast, and you're also going to fuel your body. Now, in case another question would be, what workouts are the best and what time? Well, research says that if you want to do high intensity workout, you do so after breaking your fast. That's after an hour or so of a light meal. Now, if you want to do weight training, for instance, you do so in the morning before your sahur, so that you can have your pre-meal and your post-meal, right? Because you're doing weight training. Now, when we're talking about cardio, you should limit yourself, guys, to twice a week. Now remember, you're fasting, your body is low on energy. You do not want to push yourself too much, right? So these are my tips when it comes to what time you should work out ideally, and what exercises or what intensities. Do stick to low intensity or moderate intensity exercises, especially during Ramadan. Also, guys, another tip I'd like to say personally would be, if you're not somebody who works out, right, before, Ramadan might not be the best time to start a new workout regime, right? Because your body needs that much more energy when you're starting something new. So if you're somebody who does not work out at all, you could continue with your daily activities, right? For starters, you could go for a walk, a 30-minute walk. Brisk walking is ideal. Going up and down the stairs, for instance, is ideal. I would say do not push yourself. I would say do not overexert yourself, especially more so during Ramadan. Also, guys, I would like to say, be mindful of your exercise, be mindful of what you're eating. Both of them are equally important if you want to, make sure that you get the maximum benefits out of fasting, out of a workout, and that will be great for your health and wellness. So guys, this is a short and small video that I wanted to, talk to you about and give you my tips about Ramadan and how you can fast, how you can stay fit, how you can make all the right choices, guys. It's always in our hands what we choose to eat, what we choose to focus on. Well, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I hope that you learned from it. Once again, wishing one and all a Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak, Happy Ramadan. Do follow me on my Instagram page if you're not following me already. I wish you all good health always. Please do take care, and bye for now.